Hi, it is #8, which is day 23, which makes it Friday, the 14th of June. And in case this is your first video, I'm Maria and I am sharing my personal 321 focus journey. So the last few days have been quite mixed and busy in ways. So after my last video, I had to go and measure the gate. Hi, it's Maria here, and it is still #11. And here's the proof I actually got dressed. And this is my new tool here. I have got a message from Unica to check that my gate is wider than 10 foot so that the stones can be delivered, the filler for the floor. So this is very exciting, and I can't measure and talk to you on the video. So yeah, let me check this out and I'll let you know. Hopefully the gate is wide enough. Then on Wednesday, which was #10, the 15-week business course came to an end. And so, yeah, then I ended up meeting up with my son and his girlfriend and doing an airport run. And very interestingly, the first time I took the car out of Mullingar, it went to the airport. And I'm thinking, yes, I'm looking forward to going to the airport, and I'm looking forward to spreading my wings and spreading my magic more. And then yesterday, which was #9, yeah, I found my whole space here because I'm at this table where I'm supposed to be making my treasure maps, and the table was in a big mess, as you'll see now. It's #9, which is day 22. My table that I'm supposed to be using for my treasure map has now become a dumping ground for absolutely everything. And it's really, really frustrating me. So the 15-week business course ended yesterday, and I started to go through all my notes for the whole 15 weeks just to summarize the action points I still have to take for my business. But then I had to do an airport run in the middle of the night. So I got home at 5:30 in the morning, and yeah, so this is what's facing me now. But yesterday evening I got this idea that I would make headings to put on my treasure map. So I actually immediately went in and I printed them all out, and I'm going to get the guillotine out and I'm going to cut those out. And I am, over the next couple of days, probably over the weekend, going to start making the treasure map for the back wall in my classroom where my desk is going to be. And the other thing as well, the other bit of progress is I've got my son to agree to help me with all the stones when they arrive. I'm still waiting for news on whether the gate is wide enough or not for the delivery, or if we need a different delivery solution for all the stones. And I also got a very strange phone call yesterday. It looked like a lady called Marion was ringing me that I met at the Dublin Mind Body Experience, but in fact it was actually the hardware store. And the really mad thing is that the only difference between the two phone numbers is one is 087 and one is 044, and my phone mixed them up, so it was showing the hardware up as being Marion. But then the other really crazy thing is that yeah, the stove I'm looking at is more than likely the Sherwood stove. And so, of course, Marion and Robin Hood in Sherwood Forest. So the plot thickens and the story continues. So here I am today on #8, and already this morning I was doing quite a bit of navel searching, as I call it, with my journal, and I had a big realization about powerful questions. It's #8, day 23. So this time next week we'll be on day 1, down at the very end, and I haven't written my daily affirmation yet. And there's my question from yesterday. Whoops! How would it be if it were perfect? That's how I write my affirmations. And the journal just fell on the floor is the question I'm going to ask myself now, because the year planner keeps falling off the wall, and I'm just wondering if what I'm planning is really what I'm meant to be planning. Interestingly, what's staying on the wall is the 321 Focus poster. So maybe, pardon the pun, that's exactly where the focus is meant to stay. So this here, what do I really want, is a fabulous question to ask yourself when you feel just a bit stuck or a bit unsure, or you don't feel you've got that yeah, when you just don't feel fully it's not even confident, fully, you don't feel that you really know what you want to do, so you lack that motivation. Because I know myself, once I've worked out exactly what it is I want to do, I have no problem going off and doing it. I just go for it. But I find it impossible to go for something if I'm iffy squiffy about it. So yeah, so I'm going to sit with this now. I highly advise you and invite you to write the question out for yourself, and not even force the answers, but start to allow the answers to come in, because answers can come from a much higher place than ourselves, from our divine guidance, the answers that we really need, and not necessarily the stuff that goes around in our head or what other people have advised us to do, etc. So yeah, I want to get to the truth about what's next for me, because I'm very much at a crossroads now that my 15-week business course is over. And yeah, I've got this treasure map stuff here on the table, and I haven't done it more with it, etc. So before I can really put that treasure map together, I need to get clear about where it is and I want to go and what I want to do next. Well, you couldn't really make this up, but I scheduled all the 321 elements last night before I went to bed, because I knew I was tired, and would give me just a chance to relax more, not to have to be up in time to send them out. And of course, I've just remembered, now that I've been sitting here with this question for a few minutes, that in fact our hashtag 8 focus B for today is all about asking ourselves powerful questions. Because I was sitting there with my question on my other journal, thinking the answers to this, the big answers, really need to be going in my 321 focus journal. And of course, that's exactly where they're going to be going now. So I've nothing written yet about what I really want, but interestingly, almost straight away, I had another question I needed to write down, and that is what needs to change. And that's often what happens, is that when you start asking yourself questions, before the answers even come in, the next question comes in. So, leave some space for yourself and go and write your next question down. And the first part of the answer is really interesting, because it came in straight away, and is like, I need to fully, unequivocally believe and experience that all my needs are perfectly met in ways I'm completely comfortable and at peace with. Because I suppose when we ask and when we're trying to manifest things, or when we need to manifest things, we need to be able to ask and then just trust that things are going to come right. And then the next realization was, again, something that I'm very aware of, because when you really, really, really believe something, you don't say I believe, you say I know. So I need to get to the stage where I know that when I go to do something, that whatever I need is going to manifest for me, and that I'm going to be able to pull things together. Because my past experience has been that, and I suppose the Heart of Ireland Festival in particular is coming to mind, that there was a certain amount of stuff that absolutely came together in the most unbelievable, magical ways. But then there was other stuff that didn't. And as a result, my overall feeling is that it wasn't the success that I personally wanted it to be. And I've ended up carrying debt as a result of it, because other bits didn't work. And again, probably because I knew and was able to let go of certain things. But when it came to things to do with money and where we needed to pay for stuff, that was where I had doubt. And that's what needs to change in me. And in all my years of giving my Jumpstart class, and I know I've said this to loads of people, the people who are best at manifesting things have always been people who've come from farming backgrounds, because farmers sow their seeds and then they just have to trust, and they have to trust that the harvest will come, and they have to just go off and get on with it. and then they'll reap their harvest later on. But people who come from that background, it's in their DNA, it's in their subconscious to sow seeds and to trust and to believe that their needs are going to be met. So, yeah. And then I was nudged to go and look at the Magik Fridge. And I was also nudged to move my lottery ticket from one side of the fridge to the other. And I took the opportunity then to show you the magic of the 55 green tiles from way back in both 2000 and 2006. This is what's known as my Magik Fridge, and I've just been prompted. This is my dad and my father-in-law here, very much minding me and minding the family at all times. Yeah, I've just been nudged, and it's been coming into my head for the last few days, to move my lottery ticket from the front of the fridge to the side of the fridge, because in the house that I rented before, this is the way the fridge stood freely in the corner, and it's actually on this fridge that I manifested loads of things, including this house that I'm in. And yeah, I just want to show you this, that okay, so over here, when I moved into my house, first of all, there were a load of tiles missing on the right hand side here, and this is what I call the miracle of the 55 tiles, because the other house that I lived in actually went well, there was a house fire on 7th of April 2000, and it changed my whole life. But what was really interesting, that the tiles that were used to fix the back of the cooker after that fire, when I moved in here, that happened in 2000, and I moved in here in 2006. So 6 years later, the exact tiles to finish my kitchen. And I needed 55, which is always a sign from my dad. They were actually already in the other house spare after fixing, and so I was able to fix what's underneath my cupboard here as well. So it's quite amazing, really, when you think about the kind of miracles that can happen. So I'm here now, my table is much tidier. I have a very strong Virgo piece, so I have now started a file, which is somewhere over there, for the renovations. I've got an insert that is for the stove, and I've clipped on my notes from the positive nights from Patricia Lone into my Feng Shui journal. Also really happy to report that I have signed up and been accepted for the Amanda Collins Feng Shui course, and I was in time for the early bird, so that feels really, really great. And amazingly, that's on in Gorey, which is in Wexford, which is the county where my dad came from. But I also found out that two of my favourite people are actually moving to Gorey for a stint from August to December. So I guess I should have my accommodation for during that course sorted as well. So it's amazing how things open up and everything starts to click into place for us. Also, have a look here. This is my magic bamboo. Doesn't it look well? You can see how it's growing. And then the other thing I just wanted to point out is that in my classroom, the Sasko year planner is insisting on falling off the wall constantly. And also the other thing that's fallen off the wall is that treasure map I made, for the fame and reputation space. And so what's left on the wall is actually the success and my jackpot magic check from the universe. So I'm sitting with this now and I'm thinking, there's a message here in this. It was the exact same double-sided tape. They're the same walls. There's some reason why some things are not sticking and other things are. And then I was reminded back to August of 2007 when I woke up one night with all the numbers for the ermines in my head. And I've actually been playing those numbers ever since, and I only play one line and I don't do plus. So it used to cost me originally €2 a week. Then it became Euro Millions was twice a week, so it became €4, and now it's gone up that it is €5 a week. But that €5 a week, and I'm not into gambling or gambling anything that you can't afford to lose, but that €5 a week actually allows me to visualize and be hopeful about my dreams, because it's not beyond the realms of possibility that you could win money. I mean, magic works in so many other ways with parking spaces and coffees and cars, as I've experienced in the last week. So that's that. The other thing is that tomorrow, to be sure, I've had 2 notifications from the ESB, but tomorrow there's no power here. The power has been cut because they're upgrading our power, so that we're going to have more power, and I'm taking that very personally because look at this photo now. This is the picture from the day I was born, and it was a gift from my brother. It's the Irish Independent, and there's 2 things on that. One is an ESB strike, and so I think a lot of my whole personal journey has been about power. I know the numbers to do with my mum's ESB the day she was leaving our home in Athy to move back to Dublin, all connected back to do with things to do with me and my power and feeling empowered. So I'm taking it that tomorrow when our power gets upgraded, even more amazing things are going to start happening for me because my power has been upgraded. And if you're watching this and therefore what I'm saying is resonating, the chances are your power is being upgraded as well, because we attract what resonates with us and what is on a vibrational alignment with us. So the other amazing thing about that newspaper clip is that it announces for the first time that Whit weekend, which is Pentecost, which would have been a moving date every year depending on when Easter fell and actually when moons and things happened, surprise, surprise, with the church, that in fact that was going to become a fixed June bank holiday weekend on the first Monday of June. And in fact, the very first June bank holiday weekend was going to be on the 5th of June, which was going to be in 1967, which is like 52 years ago. But interestingly enough, again, that Monday of the June bank holiday weekend, which is highlighted on the newspaper the day I'm born, that's the weekend last year when my old car went. Back in 2000, something enormous happened to me on the 5th of June, which was actually the June bank holiday Monday. And again, an absolutely life-changing event. And and this time round, it was just after that weekend that the car manifested for me. So look, I'm probably not going to be around tomorrow because I'm going to be conserving the battery on my phone and the battery on my laptop. So here are my affirmation cards, and these are the ones, the extras that I have to pick off for going to all the fairs. And tomorrow I'm going to have no electricity for the day, so depending on the weather I may well come in and pick off all the rest of these because they're taking up a lot of space. And this is actually one of the bedrooms, which is like, has everything. It's just stuff from her story, from my daughter, all my books from my bookshelf, all the books from the bookshelf in the classroom are here, and all my different packs of affirmation cards, because I used to be such a card junkie at one stage. I'm not so bad anymore. But here are all the affirmation cards, the My Kind of Magic affirmation cards, the extras with the slightly faulty gloss that I can give out to everybody I meet at the fair. So I want to pack all these off so then they're all in nice tidy boxes, and I'm starting to create a bit of space in here for myself as well. Because as you can see, like, I also have the mulcher in here that I inherited from my mum and dad, and it has been great for cleaning up my garden and stuff. But it's time for everything to start to have a place and for everything to be in its right place. I'll be back when I'm meant to be back, and my challenge for you is, like, do go and write down that really powerful question, what do I really want? And sit and see what the answer is that comes in. And the second question that I highlighted earlier on, what changes do I need to make? And, write them down. And even sometimes by just writing down the answers, you'll be nudged to start taking the action. So until we meet again, have a fantastic time. And I look forward to seeing you in another video again soon. Take care. Bye.